the first month of the Stash Bash collaboration. This collaboration is hosted by Creative Mommy, and there are 19 of us who are participating, and we're all very excited. So for this collaboration, every month starting the 1st of February until the 1st of June, we are going to be posting a video of us building our stash. And after our last video, we will each have a giveaway, and we will be giving away items that we made from our stash to one of our subscribers. So make sure you're subscribed to all the lovely collaborators, and I will have all of their links listed down below. So definitely go check them all out and go check out what they create each month. I know I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what everyone creates and getting ideas from them, and also using those ideas to build my stash as well. So for this month, I am working on scrapbook paper and my own ephemera. So being Canadian and also living in a small town, I don't have access to what a lot of people, I see a lot of hauls from Hobby Lobby, I think it's Tuesday Morning, wherever else, Michael's. Canadians, we don't have a Hobby Lobby, and also in a small town here, I actually live 4 hours away from the nearest Michael's. So I don't always have the option saying, okay, I need an Easter paper pad. I need to go get one right now. Sometimes I don't get to go into the city for a couple of months, so I'm kind of limited as to what I can kind of use. So what I like to do is I go online and I'll purchase digital paper, and I normally find these off of Etsy. So what you see in front of you here is a few collections that I've kind of purchased and printed and created my own scrapbook paper and my own ephemera for that collection. So this one here, you can see, is strawberry themed, and then I just put them in Ziploc bags. It's just to keep them all together. So if you're interested in this one, I'll leave this one linked down below, but this isn't the main focus one. And then I also just die cut my own ephemera pieces as well. So I'm going to move that up to the side. So for example here, I have a Alice in Wonderland themed digital paper that I purchased online. And in a few minutes, I will show you where I purchased them from, how I print them, and how I create my own ephemera as well. So just to give you an example, here are some of the paper choices. And I think these are all very cute, and I love these papers. And so I print mine on just 65-pound cardstock. You definitely can print them on something heavier, but you also definitely need access to a printer. And that's the last one. So those are the papers that came with it, and I just have some die cuts, but I also just did a bunch here. So we have just a bunch of cute, and what's nice too about creating your own images is, if I can find the other one here. Sorry, as you can see, I did all of this earlier today. I'm just trying to find her so you can see the difference in size. There we go. What's nice about creating your own ephemera is you can decide on what size that you want. So this one's roughly around 3 inches, and then this one's roughly around 5 inches. So, you know, I can choose the size of my own ephemera, whatever I want. So this, I just cut and print a lot of different sizes of all of the lovely little goodies, so you can see it comes with a lot of different stuff. A lot of super cute ephemera here. So I'll be showing you again how I go about creating all of that. And the other way that you can also create your own ephemera is stamps. So I stamped out a bunch of different images here as well that I kind of might want to use in some upcoming projects. And I just stamped a bunch of the exact same image. And these ones, I just did these Gorgeous Girl stamps that I have at home. And then I'll be fussy cutting these out. So I just thought that was very cute and very perfect for what I was going to work with. So those are just kind of two options there of how you can create your own scrapbook paper and your own ephemera. And so for this part of the collaboration, this is what I'll be giving away, is I cut out a bunch of this Alice in Wonderland ephemera and just put it in this really cute bag there that I thought went perfect with the Alice in Wonderland themed. And because paper does get heavy, I printed 4 different papers to go with this as well. And then that way, whoever wins this can use this in their own projects. So I'm going to be kind of flipping this around and showing you my view from my computer. Again, showing you where I purchased the paper from, how I print them, and then how I go about die cutting my own ephemera. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you get a little bit out of it and, you know, are able to create your own ephemera. And I hope you do check out what everyone else has created. Okay, so here you'll see I have my web browser open and I'm on the Etsy website. So the paper pad that I just showed you that I purchased from is from Monique Digital Art. And when I find a shop that I really like, I favorite their shop, so then that way I can definitely check out some other new items that they have coming out. So you can see she's got some very cute items here. And I have purchased a few digital paper and clip art from her store. So for example, if you're interested in, say, you're looking for a theme for mermaid. So I'm going to put mermaid digital paper. And you can see here a bunch of different digital paper pads are coming up online. So I would just scroll through and I would find one that I like. I'm like, okay, this one. So then I would just add it to my cart. And as you can see, all of them are priced differently. One nice thing, if you follow a shop, sometimes they have sales, or else they have, you know, purchase so many, you get a discount. So that's why it's always great to favorite a shop, and even following them on Instagram, they'll always have some coupon codes that you can use as well. So from Monique Digital Art, I purchased this one, this Tea Party clip art. So it's Alice in Wonderland themed. And here is the paper pad that I also purchased. So once I have them all purchased, what I'll do is I put them on my USB stick. And here you can see I have Monique Digital Art, and you can see I have other digital paper pads and clip art that I have purchased from her as well. But here I have my Alice one. And so what I'll do is I'll just open an image, the one that I want, and I'll go Control Print. And there's a few things that I look at. So first off, I'm going to look at this scale to fit and this scale. So depending on your printer or the digital file that you're trying to print, you might have to play around with this. So it's originally meant to scale to fit, so this is quite large as it is. I'll pull up another one just so you can see how I might play around with this. Then the next thing I'll do is I'll go to print features, and the two that I look at are paper type and the quality. So because I'm using cardstock, I just keep it at plain paper. There's the option for photo paper and specialty paper. Specialty paper is what I'll use when I want to print on sticker paper. And then the quality, I always choose best. And then I just hit print and my printer. So, but I already have these printed, so I'm not going to do that. There's a lot of empty white space around here, and there's nothing wrong with that. It'll just be a little bit smaller, and you can definitely use your white space to use for other projects. So what you can do is you can either play around with the scale. So I might go 120, and you can see that it opened up, or I can go place. So again, just depending on your printer, you might just have to play around with that. And then again, I just go here, and then I would go best and hit print, and then it would come out. And as you can see in the video, that the quality of my images actually do come out really nicely. Okay, so now I'll be showing with you how I create my ephemera. So I'm going to open up my Silhouette Studio here, and this is my new blank sheet to work with. So a few things that you want to make sure. One, you want to make sure that it shows the print borders. So if you can see here, there'll be a line that shows up right here. So you want to make sure that you're working with that. But then also you want to make sure you're working within your cut border as well, this red line, which will change once you add your registration marks. So you can see here. So you can see my print border is along here, but my registration marks are around here. So I don't want to go outside of this red marking. Next thing is your registration marks might be a little bit more out than mine. I have pushed mine back a little bit, but I have found with my machine in particular that I have to have a little bit more of a registration mark area, and my machine just works better, and I always get pretty much perfect cut every single time. So you'll definitely have to play around with that. Some of you might say, well, I don't have a Silhouette machine, and that is totally fine. You can actually download the Silhouette Studio for free, and you can play around and do exactly what I'm doing and print, but you just have to hand cut your own ephemera out, which is, no big deal at all, which is quite nice. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to my library, and I want to make sure that I have that paper pad or the images that I want. So here you can see I have Monique Digital Arts and I have Alice, and I already have everything there. If you don't have it, what you can do is see here, you can go create no folder, name it, and then you open up your file that has your JPEGs and your PNGs, and you just click it and drag it into there, and it will upload it into your library. So then what I want to do is I want to pick the image that I want to work with. So I'm going to pick this one here first, this tag image. So it's going to open it up, you can see here, into a new file. So then what we want to do is we want to come over here to the side and to trace it. So this kind of looks like, I think, like a loaf of bread. And the reason why you want to trace it is because, say if I went up here to do the offset, it's going to offset around it, and I don't want that. What I want to do is I want it to offset around the image, so you have to trace it first. So again, we go to the select trace area, and you got to make sure that the whole area is selected. Then what you do is you go to threshold, and I always just bring that all the way to the end. Depending on some of the images, you might not go all the way to the end, but I find that's how it works. And you might have to play around with the scale and this, but I find normally it's just threshold. Then I go trace and detach. So it'll take sometimes a few seconds, and then I have the image out, and then here is I don't know if you can see it, but there's a very faint outline of the image that it traced. So I'm just going to delete that. But this is what I want, and I'm just going to go Control C, and I'm going to bring it into the file that I was working with, and Control V it, and drop it in. And then I just delete this. I don't hit save, I just go don't save, because then that way when I need to reopen it, it's just how it is. So then what I want to do is I want to decide, okay, what do I want it to be, the size? So here, if you can see, this is unlocked. So if I want this to be 3 images, you'll see that it shrinks a little bit differently. So you always want to make sure that's kind of locked, especially if you want the whole image to readjust in size altogether. So I'm going to make this say 3. And so you can see it changed the whole thing. So if I wanted to squish it before, then I could. So once I have figured out my size, and a lot of times when I'm doing that, I look at a ruler and I'll be like, okay, I want it to be roughly around this size. The next thing you do is you come up to your offset. So you're going to hit offset, and you want the offset, not internal offset. And I normally do 0.03 to offset mine, and it gives I will zoom in, and you can see it does a very white border around it, and it comes very close. Some of the images you might have to play around with, and you might have to offset it 0.5. The most I've ever done, I think, is 0.8 or 0.8. I think even 1. But again, you just play around with that. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to select it all and hit Control Group. Because if not, if you just moved this and needed to rearrange your page, you can see that they're not together. So I just select them to go together and go Control Group. So now when I move this around, it moves all together. And then next what I'll do is I will do that to all of the images that I want, and then I start rearranging them onto my sheet of paper. So I already did this, so you can see here I have rearranged these. So what did I do? I did this at 2.6, I did this one at 3.7, or sorry, width 3.5, and about 2.5 here for these ones. And I just rearranged, and you can see here, if you click on the image, there's this little green dot. Maybe this one will be better. And this you can move, and you can move it around to a location, or so that way it fits onto your page. So I'll just show you. So I already went ahead and did all of these. So I did all of these. Again, I adjusted them to the size that I wanted them to be, and then I offset them, and I believe I offset all of these at 0.03. So I have a couple of pages, and you'll notice like these ones I did smaller, on the previous page were bigger, and then again, and then again. So like I said, it's really nice to do this digitally because you can choose the size of your own ephemera, and you can print as many as you would like. So, you know, if I needed 20 of her for who knows what kind of project, I could definitely do that. And again, next year, if I wanted to use the same clip art and the same paper, I have it in my file, and I can go ahead and print as many as I need. So here, what you do next is you go to Send, and then I'm going to hit my line, and I just want to make sure that this red line is selected. So, and I also want to choose the material. So I want to choose cardstock. So if you click down, you can see that it has a whole bunch of different materials. Oh, it changed. Material that you can choose and you can print and cut on. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my blade. So I have my blade set at 5. So the more that you use your blade, it eventually gets dull, and you might have to up it a bit. So you just want to make sure your blades are correct. And then your force, most of the time I find that it adjusts the force for you. So I leave it at 20, and the speed is roughly around 4. If it's very simple lines like this, I could probably put this up to 6, and it just goes a little bit quicker. But if there's more of a detailed line, you definitely want to keep it at 4. I even turned mine down to 3 for a few other images. And then what you do is you hit Send. I obviously can't do it because you can see here mine says unavailable. I don't have this hooked up, but I'm going to add a little clip of this cutting for you, and I'll add that here right now. All right, and so for those of you who are wondering, okay, I don't have a silhouette machine to cut this for me, like I said before, you can definitely just print this out. You don't need to even do the offset, and you can hand cut them. Another nice thing that you could do yourself as well, if you go to this one here off to the side, you can go to line style, and what you can do is you can up your thickness. So you can see in that one that's selected that the thickness has increased, and I have it at 1. Then what you do is you can pick your line color, and I chose black, And when you print this, this will actually come out black, and you can follow that line and cut it around with it, which is quite nice. So there's that option as well. And I look forward to seeing if anyone else creates their own digital ephemera and digital paper. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you all have a crafty day.